well.
All right. Hello. So guys, next what we'll do is that this thing. So while you are informing, right? So you can inform in 4 ways broadly. Ah, 4 ways. So what happens is that you can either say the definition, you can either say the description, or the demonstration, or the explanation. So what does this mean? So what is the difference? Any guesses, guys? What is the difference? Or maybe you guys can say what is the definition? What is definition and what is description? Or maybe the difference between them. We'll be
And you
saying
can
it.
take a go.
Uh, we'll be clearing everything, guys. Chalo, speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up.
Definition is a kind of the bookish language which I can use while explaining something or just introducing a topic or saying something.
Okay, okay, good try, Tanima. Tanima, right? Ha, Tanima. Okay, and anyone else? Description.
Description is elaborating more about something, about a topic or anything.
Okay, okay, all right. ठीक है. So once, so yeah. So what is definition? Definition is basically uh, stating concepts. Okay, concepts clearly and concisely. Okay, and it is necessary because so you can actually use a lot of synonyms and antonyms, or maybe you can use functions, so that what happens is that you are basically stating the concepts. So that's a definition. And when I say about description, what does description mean? Description means that you are making verbal pictures, okay, for the audience, as in the interviewer or the uh, or the reader who is reading your answer. So basically, what happens is that this description is more connected to spatial. Okay, description is more connected towards spatial, that is storytelling, because you are creating a verbal image so that your audience can actually understand whatever you are trying to speak. And definition is just stating the concept. So if I say what is photosynthesis, if I say it's, so how do plants make food, it's, I say it's photosynthesis. This is basically the definition. And if I describe it properly, if I make a visual representation of it, that is how the this is how it happens, that in the morning when the sun rises, the light falls on the leaves, and then the leaves do some ABCD, and then it makes food out of it. Okay, so this is basically the description part of it. Am I making myself clear, guys? Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay. Ranima says yes. Yeah. Okay. Avinanda, you can go with the demonstration and explanation part.
Yeah, so definition, as we know that it came from the word demonstrate, right? So when we talk about demonstration, we are trying to visually explain a concept, any fact or any concept or anything that we come across. We try to physically demonstrate the step. Now this will be very clear, like when you go to computer class. So at that time, your instructor will go ahead and show you how to do it step by step. For example, you can take the example right now. When Tanima was how to make Anirban host. So at that time, I demonstrated her the steps by telling her that go to participants and go move your cursor to his name and then make him the host. So this is a way in which to demonstrate. Now, it involves a part of careful observation from the person sitting on the other side, like whom you are explaining. And the thing shows a lot is that how you are able to accurately portray a procedure, any technique or any operation. Okay, is that clear? Next we come to explanation. Now explanation and description is more or less similar, however there is a small difference. like Anirban said, the description is more in the spatial size, that is storytelling. But in case of explanation, we are simplifying matters very much and we are elaborating it further. So when we try to elaborate anything, taking suppose a technical example or anything as such, so at that point of time, we try to divide it into various concepts, various topics. So when we are talking about any kind of implication of any decision taken by the government. So we try to divide it into parts like economical implication, social implication, and so on. So we divide it into topics. So it comes more in the purview of topical pattern in which we explain and showcase things in a much different way. It it is more or less a long drawn out, and we give them context, causes, and verbally describe a set of facts and figures, and so on and so forth. Okay, so here in explanation we show how things work based on different kinds of examples, and we verbally explain things. Explanation explaining, it is very simple. Okay, anything else? Is there any kind of any doubt till now? Are all the four topics clear? Definition, description, demonstration, explanation. Okay. So as you can see right in the below, there is written complex. So explanation is something again that is telling it to you further that when we further extend something, whenever we come into some certain kind of complex topic, we go further for explanation and simplify things so that the listener understands. Okay. Hmm. Over to you,
Okay.
Anirban.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So guys, we'll do again activity, a small activity. So this activity will be beneficial for your VB and VAT. So so why did we learn all this? Is that this 7 steps would give a direction to your answer, and also so that you have a nose in the whole answer. Okay. So it doesn't mean how much powerful you are or how much you know, but a nose is important. Guys, do you know who is this character? This I have a nose.
Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, cool. Very good, very good. So अभी भी Cartoon Network चलता है क्या? I don't know. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about this activity, guys. So this activity is basically yeah, you'll be divided into groups again, 15 minutes. So draft a small speech, maybe which something which concerns modern topics or current affairs. You can take any modern topic or any current affair. You can also take up life of Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan. Okay, so yeah, so no problem with that. Absolutely no problem with that. But guys, when you're whatever line you're writing, okay, I'll just send these pictures on the group. So whatever you're writing, so follow the steps and classify it accordingly so that so that okay, so first point, teach audience using objective and factual information. So you need to take care of this also. Okay, so yeah, follow the steps, and it will help you to give out a good answer. So you can take any topic. Yeah, any doubt here? Just follow the 7 steps that I have taught you so that you can frame a good answer. Okay, so I'll just put you guys into breakout rooms. um, okay, cool. Piyush, you can join your breakout room. Okay, is everyone here? People are still coming back. Okay, okay.
I think there will be a few more.
Um, okay, so who would like to go first, guys? Come on. Two groups. I'll take analysis for two groups.
Akansha will be speaking on behalf of our team.
Okay, okay, okay. All right.
Is Akanksha here or she got disconnected?
In between, we are impacted by
She got
the
disconnected.
in between, we are attacked by black fungus. Although we have a solution by Professor and it had the word itself.
Harsh, your voice is not clear. Could you be closer
Harsh,
to the speaker?
yeah, are you trying to say something? Harsh?
I think he was trying to say something.
Harsh, we couldn't hear you. OMG.
OSG.
Okay, why OMG? I'm just narrating something in my head. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Okay, we heard it.
Maybe not much. Anybody else would like to take a shot?
Akansha, I don't find the best. Where is she?
She's connecting. Actually, there's a power cut in her area, so that is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
problem.
It's been some time.
May I?
When I was speaking.
Yeah,
Okay, Koena, you can resume. Yeah.
So, today we are going to speak about how COVID emerged and what are the various impacts and how government has strategized to work on it.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
starting with it, an epidemic occurring worldwide or over a very wide area, crossing international boundaries and usually affecting a large number of people is generally a way a pandemic is defined. Moving ahead with it, on 31st December 2019, WHO was informed of the cases of pneumonia of unknown cause in the Wuhan city of China. A disease was identified as the cause by Chinese authorities on 7th of January 2020. Evidences suggested that the virus used to spread mainly between people who are in close contact with each other, typically within a range of 1 meter. This virus was named as the coronavirus disease 2019, abbreviated as COVID-19. The COVID-19 epidemic is the first and foremost human disaster which has affected more than 200 countries. India, a developing country, had been passing through demand depression and high unemployment with the lockdown announced by the PM. And it predicted that India would go into a recession affected by the unorganized sector losing their unemployment. Looking into some of the effects of it, the GDP grew by a slower pace of 3.1% in the fourth quarter of 2019-20, and growth was 4.2% in the fiscal year through March 20. In the manufacturing industries, there was lower production, turnover got adversely affected, money transactions got delayed, and end users have postponed demands. In the agricultural sector, there was labor inavailability and there was inavailability to access markets. There has been a sharp increase in daily wages, making it unremunerative for producers since prices have collapsed. Education sector has also been hampered a lot because some of the children in very remote areas could not access to the online education that was prevailing during this time. Moreover, there was certain other areas which also got hampered, and even poverty was increasing at a large rate. Slowly, this virus took a large form, affecting every corner of the world. Now, moving on to some of the strategies that government thought of was
Okay, Koena,
heavy.
I'll stop you right here. Okay, so yeah, so till this point, whatever lines you have said, can you just classify them? As in whatever you have used out of these 7 things?
First, as I started with the how it emerged and what is a pandemic, and how the WHO first told us about it was the informative part, speaking about the definition and then how it went on. Then moving on, how it impacted our country, how it had an impact on our country, and how various things went ahead with it was the various processes and the events that occurred, and the various areas like the manufacturing sector, the agricultural sector, and the education sector, how it got hampered was some of the relevant areas and facts that we have been observing since the last few days.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Koena. Anyone else would like to have a try?
Harsh would continue with the rest part.
Give me an extra. I had okay, all right. Okay, Harsh, continue.
Okay, so till then, Koina has explained us some steps taken by the government, but we have the right to know what were the flows that caused everything. Well, in between this second wave of COVID-19, we were also backed up with black fungus, although we do have a solution for it by our own IIT Hyderabad professors. So how the government fails? This is the main reason, and for this I mainly consider 3 points. The one that are to Indian-based companies fail to meet the need that they were promised to us. Second, the government has no plans and procurement orders in time. The third one is that our own Ministry of External Affairs focus on exporting rather than inoculating its own country. Though they cover it up by saying they have a bond with other countries to be flourished, but ultimately figures are there to say that they even fail to provide the needs to other countries, as Tibet has not done. Tibet has no second inoculation. Now, successively, there are some sides in all the tenebrous odds that can bring out something good out of it. Recently, we do have a BRICS grouping of foreign ministers, and we were supported by all the members of BRICS. They also promised to help India in every possible way. And by this, our own India government also concluded that they would be able to produce more than a crore of vaccines per month, and India would be vaccinated by the month of December. That's it.
Okay. So here, whatever you have spoken, guys. Yeah, Harsh. So guys, pay attention. So can you classify it?
Yes, Mira.
Yeah.
So first of all, to pick up the audience, I stated some facts, like I also included black fungus and stuff. Then I do it in a chronological manner, that how we fail, to how what are the things that were not there that we fail in meeting the needs. And then I also concluding the what are the in betweens we do have, like we do have a BRICS meeting in between. And then finally I concluded with a good hope that everything would be sum up and everything would be good by the end of the year.
Okay. So can you just tell me out of this four things, definition, description, demonstration, and explanation, which one have you used?
And yeah.
Sorry, actually I got disconnected a little bit. Can you just repeat, Harsh?
Okay. I think I use description, as I also stated all the points due to which we fail to meet the need of today's vaccination, right?
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And,
Okay. And also you can
and I yeah.
tell.
Yeah. I also explained all the things that were there in the secondary background. Like we do have a BRICS meeting. I explained. Actually, I do have to add more, but yeah, due to shortage of time, I didn't do that. So that was it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Harsh. So yeah, guys. So see, it's not that you have to use any one of them. You can also use multiple things like a definition, description, demonstration, and explanation. It's not only limited to one. You can also use 2, 3, 4, or all of them. Yeah. So that's how it goes. Very good, Harsh. So yeah, then we will move on. Or if, does anyone else want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'm Akanksha.
Yeah, Akansha. Okay, all right.
And I was teamed up with Momita and Tanima.
Yeah, quickly, just give me just quickly do it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
5-6 lines.
Every year in June.
Hmm.
Okay. It's not going to be 5-6, but I'll try.
Uh,
Every year in June, the world celebrates Pride Month, dedicated to the LGBTQ community and their right to live a dignified life. Pride is about people, acceptance, love, and their basic fundamental right. In September 2018, when the Article 377 was decriminalized, it was a historic achievement for all the non binary Indians. But homosexuality continues to reign as a taboo in our society, which is very evident when the High Court of the country's capital refuses to recognize same sex marriage under the excuse of traditions. But through dark clouds of deep rooted prejudice, the Indian youth emerge as a ray of hope as people in India adapt to virtual rallies to make their voices heard when the pandemic has imposed house arrest on people all over the world.
okay.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Can you just classify quickly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I mentioned about the decriminalization of the Article 377, which is a fact, and also how the High Court has, denied to recognize same-sex marriage, which is also a fact. And I have explained what is Pride Month and what the concept actually is, and why it is important, and also talking about the relevance. It is very much relevant in our society because equality seems to be the most basic fundamental right of every human being. So
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Akansha. Thank you so much. All right. Well
I
done,
would
guys.
also I would
Okay.
also like to say that it is kind of informative in the way that when I say that they resorted to virtual rallies because of the pandemic, in that way.
Okay. Thank you so much, Akansha. Thank you so much. Well done, guys. Okay. People who couldn't speak, next time, try speaking. Okay. Yeah, because this is a very good practice for you guys also. So yeah, moving on. So Avinanda, would you like to take over?
Yeah. So, okay, Amlan said our team was ready. It's okay, fine. Next time you will be given the chance to speak. We are already a little bit late. So, we will, in the next group activity, you guys will be given a chance. Now, Anirban has already sent a few links regarding for you to watch before joining. So, how many have you gone through the videos? Did you watch it? It was just 3 minutes, 3 + 3, 6 minutes in total. Okay, Akanksha said, Koena said yes, Tanima said yes, Pragya very good. So did you guys analyze what went wrong there? Because in the previous class, we have talked quite a lot about what you should not do. And those examples, that those videos were pretty much good example of subtle way, the subtle mistakes that we do, like the things that we say that being nervous or not being able to say what the interviewer wants to hear. These are not something that is overtly present, but there are some subtle body language clues that you will get and something that you will get to see in these videos. So you guys can start taking a go. Let's go with the second video that Anirban posted in the group. What went wrong there? Why do you think the lady in white would not be selected in the interview? Why was it a bad interview? You guys can unmute and say, or you can write it in the chats as well.
May I?
Yes, sure, Koena. Go ahead.
Can I try?
In video 2, the interviewee is quite unmannered as she rushed in and sat down without being asked to. She started showing off too much about her busy schedule, and once she started looking around the room, it showed that she is not quite interested in the whole thing. She even started talking about working on her own independently, which showed that she is not interested in teamwork. And after completing the interview, when she was asked about if she had any questions, she started rushing into looking for benefits and was too much family oriented, as she started saying that for her son she needs some dental plans and all. She was she tried to get off the place as soon as possible, as if the company was the one which wanted to recruit her urgently, and she didn't even wait for her to say thank you and went out.
Okay. So I have just got one question. Like
Um,
when but just one question. Next, I will give you guys rest of the members also a chance to speak. So when she was asking about the dental plans, do you think that it is wrong? Because maybe it is very important for her. Like, I need this dental plan very much, and she communicated it to the interviewer. So what is it that was wrong, and why it came up as a negative factor? Because whenever we talk about some kind of benefit in the interview, it's nothing, there's nothing wrong in saying that I want this is something very important. So why do you think that became out as something negative in this interview?
It came out as a negative thing in the interview because it was not the first time she was so oriented too much her family life more than her professional life. I think the way she spoke, she was not able to balance between her family and her professional life, as after every line or after every statement she gave in, she used to say that, you know, I have children, I am busy with them and all. So this thing went on, and at the end when she again put in that line, it became a negative aspect.
Okay, Akanksha, would you like to take a chance in speaking about it?
yeah. So I would like to reply to the question that you asked. I think it had a negative connotation because she got too personal about it, and she started to talk about why she needed the dental plan because of her son. She also spoke about what is her relationship with her husband. And coming to the introduction of the video, she had no formals on. Her hair was messy. She lacked eye contact. and had bad posture. She also used the word well quite often, and she made crooked facial gestures, which was really unpleasant. And she got up her chair without any parting wishes or something like that, and got up abruptly you know, uh, without replying to the question that the interviewer asked at the end.
Okay, Tanima, do you have anything to add to this?
No, they have already said the points which I have noted down.
Okay, okay, okay. So I believe that Koena and Akanksha has actually covered all the grounds which is present here. So first of all, as soon as you enter, you see that the dressing was not as professional. If you see the HR versus the candidate, you can clearly see the distinguish that what kind of dress she should have been wearing. It didn't show the kind of seriousness. Next, when they were talking about the interview, what it felt like she didn't do a background research about the kind of company she is going on through. That is one of the biggest mistake. So when you will be going for an interview, the first and the most important thing that you should do is do a background research and find out what it is that the company or the institute wants, because there are a lot of sources, lot of resources, connections. You can go into LinkedIn, you can visit the sites, you can go ahead and see the kind of professors, the course materials. Through that you will get a broad idea of the kind of candidates you want, the institute wants. So you don't have to completely you don't actually have to completely fake yourself or do anything as this. Just highlight the part that is in line with the company. Second thing that went ahead is that it's okay to talk that how busy you are, that you have a family. It's perfectly fine. But the thing is, you should also showcase that you will be able to handle it. The way in which she said about family was she's so busy that she might even compromise her task. So it's okay to be honest, but at the same time, you should showcase how competent you are. You are able to handle the personal and professional life. You are not going to, throw away your personal life into complete disarray because of this task or because of this. So you must be able to handle pressure. So this is just a professional example of an interview for a company. However, when you go to IIMs, there also they would like to see that whether you have a hobby or not, whether you are able to handle the personal life and professional life properly or not, whether you have researched well about the institute or not. That is something that they will look forward to very much. And again, as Akanksha has also said, that body language, posture, the way she needed to do eye contact, these things also matter a lot. Okay, now let's go to the next video. Tanima, would you like to take the chance to speak first?
Abhinand, I would say we should give chance to Anant and others. Like they haven't been
Uh-huh.
speaking. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
Anant, would you
Yeah.
like to have a try?
Okay, may I try?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also,
Um,
Anant, can you speak a little bit louder?
yeah, okay. Uh, Means this lady, she wasn't good in her manners. She didn't shake the interviewer's hands, and then she just sat down actually and ignored her hand completely. Then when she was asked questions about means whether she will be ready to does she have any experience with students, she replied that she actually didn't what research about this company about this organization, and whereas she did about other organizations, which means that she wasn't well versed about where she was going to work. um, then uh, after that
Okay, no problem.
she
Tanima?
wasn't dressed
Okay.
properly, means according to an interview her dressing wasn't proper. um,
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you
So
so much, Anand.
Harsh, would you?
Yeah.
Harsh spoke earlier in the previous group task. Harsh, would you like to take a chance and speak a little bit about it? Um, okay. I think Amlan, would you like to say something? Akanksha said started complaining about her days without regards towards the interview. Okay. Amlan, would you like to include any some more points? Okay, Tanima.
Um, Over here also I will be saying that the gestures are not at all correct, and mostly she was using fillers in the initials of every sentences and like so on literally. So I think that must be corrected the next time. And the second thing I think is that there should be a proper proper interaction with the interviewer while and just to not sit she was in a casual meeting because she was actually in an interview, and over there the interviewer will be checking each and every steps of her. And again she was mixing up with her personal and professional life, and she even said about blank throats which can ruin the whole interview. That is she said that at times she could not come or join early in the office because she has works in her home, and that is what I think is the main wrong thing in the whole interview that will give a negative sense to the interviewer.
Okay. So, in both the interviews, okay, she wore an orange blazer like a Cheetos packet, right? Yes, color coordination is very important. Cheetos packet. Okay. So, okay, I would like to ask a question that in both the interviews, I think in any one of them, one of the interviews or the HR asked that have you worked in a team before, or are you comfortable working in a team? Now, suppose you haven't worked in a team earlier. Okay, what is the right way you can answer it? Anybody would like to take a go? What is the right way you can answer? Like you haven't worked as a team in any project, but the interviewer is asking that have you worked in a team and will you be comfortable working in a team, and have what kind of experience have you had? So could you take a moment and tell me how you would like to answer this question?
Um, Maybe if I am over there, then I will be saying that I was given a small task, and in that I can actually focus on my thing and I can do things on a timeline before the deadline. So, and it will be very nice enough to work with a team because team spirit is what I have learned in school, and that is actually instilled in my behavior. So, I would like to work with team. I think this would be the answer.
Yes, that is actually a very good one. So here, yes, it is absolutely right. Suppose you haven't worked in a team, just mention it that yes, I haven't been able to work in a big project with the team. However, later on, we have I'm very much open to working is in a team given the opportunity, and I would also like to have certain qualities and emphasize on it how you will be a good fit as a team. So that is a very good answer. Good job, Tanima. Now moving on to the next part. Anirban would like to take up this slide.
Okay, guys. So what do you think? Why did we do this? Why did we give you videos, or why did we ask you to write a piece about any topic? Why do you think?
Familiarize with these types of awkward questions which will be asked in interview if we crack IPMAT.
Yeah, yeah, cool. So that we won't make Harshay, so that we won't make the same mistakes. Yeah, yeah, cool, 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 cool. And anything else?
Also, so that we gain the ability to think of our feet.
Yeah, very good point. So that you guys gain the ability to actually judge what is the difference. Okay, or gain a upper hand. So that is where you guys are heading towards. Okay, gaining a upper hand. All right. We analyze ourselves and get ourselves corrected before the real PI dates. Yeah. That is on the real part. That is the very ground reality. So I don't know how the toppers speak. Okay, not see. Here's a problem. Okay, toppers, toppers. I hate the word toppers. So there's nothing called as toppers. Everyone is the same. They just need to play the right cards. Okay. There's nothing called as a king card or a queen card. So you need to think out of the box. Yeah. You need to actually you can actually have an edge if you do it the right way. There's nothing called as a topper. Okay. So guys, yeah, cool. So let's move on. Avinanda?
So, current affairs. We have been told that you guys have a little bit of, you would like to know how to prepare for current affairs a little bit, right? Now, can we go to the next slide? What is current affair? Anybody, go ahead and take a gambit. Tell me, what do you understand by current affairs?
The things or the news which are actually going on around the world and which is making a big or deep impact in our economy and in our near future altogether.
And Amomita says which are also trending. Yes. Anything else? What else? Happening in the world, international to local, burning issues. Yes, absolutely right. You guys are actually right. Next slide. So in simple words, current affairs are events of political or social interest of national and international importance. Okay. Harsh says all the political, cultural, social and economic aspect going in the current time, happening in the world in the present time, right? Now the thing is, current affairs is a dynamic and undefined part. Okay, so it puts like everybody in the confusion. Whenever we talk about current affairs, there is a vast number of things happening here, right? So you have to, when you prepare for current affairs, you need to have a proper strategy in how to do it and what to do and what not to do. Next slide, please. So meme is hilarious. So now, how to study current affairs? I think you should wear the helmet. Next slide. First, so what I am telling you is a stepwise method. Now, initially it is going to take you some time to get acclimatized to it, but once you practice it, once you start studying, it is going to take, in the process is going to become much shorter. So the first step is identify the sources. Now, when we go online or when we start searching for sources, the internet is full of information, like so many information you can't even fathom. Like when we go try to buy reading materials online, there are numerous. Wherever you go, you will find a lot of resources. However, the problem is the more resources you go through, the more time it will take to understand just one concept. You know, the time benefit. So it's just not worth the time. Okay, so you should choose quality over quantity. Okay, next slide. Can we go to the next slide? Yes. Now, what are the different kind of sources that you can go through? So first of all, you need to understand what the sources are. Okay, so here the sources are the Hindu, Financial Express, then Frontline. Now there are 4-5 kinds. So one is the basic newspaper. Second is formal magazines. The formal magazine, through that we mean like the publications which are produced or which are sold by proper newspaper companies. For example, Frontline, which is which is a product of, I think, the Hindu or Times of India. I don't exactly remember. Then Yojana. Yojana is a magazine that is given that is published by Government of India. So now this Yojana is a magazine where you will get an idea of all the policies that is going on in the country, whatever rules, whatever things, or whatever kinds of amendments, or any kind of the background logic behind implementing any rules or regulation. For that, you need to go to Yojana. Now there is this another magazine called Kurukshetra. Now, it's not relevant for the time being for your IPM preparation. However, if you want to go further, rural development or something as such, you can go to Kurukshetra. Okay. I think I mentioned Pratyogita Darpan twice. It is actually an informal magazine. It's not a formal magazine. Pratyogita Darpan is something that is a kind of compendium that includes all the current affairs, major headlines throughout the entire month into one small magazine. It has a number of cues and different kinds of essays so that you can understand and get a bird's eye view on the current topics and everything. Similar is competition success review and so on. Again, you can go to different kinds of websites, for example GK Today Affairs Cloud, where they update the current affairs or different kinds of anything and everything or these competition point of view, and they give brief examples and brief headlines and a little bit of explanation on the different kinds of topics. The thing is, there are numerous sources, numerous reliable sources. Okay, now what should we do? All we need to do is select any one. For example, when it comes to newspaper, you can read either the or the Financial Express or the Economic Times, any one newspaper. Similarly, go for any one formal magazine for the revision. Website, I don't think it is relevant for the time being. If you follow and the formal magazines, then that is more than enough. Okay. Similarly, you can refer to informal magazine in order so that you can revise the general knowledge and the current affairs in a short. Okay. Can we go to the next slide? So, from selection of we are going to boil it down to limiting your sources. So as Herbert Simon said, that a wealth of information leads to a poverty of attention. So if you refer newspapers, all the magazines, all the websites, then you won't be able to cover as many areas. So understand that you need to go width as well as depth. You will have to kinds of topics as well as in-depth analysis. So for that, you don't have to go through all the newspaper or everything under the sun. You just have to stay focused, stick to any one of them, and that will be enough for you. For example, when you go ahead and study any kind of subject, right? You don't go ahead and read 5 or 6 different kind of materials. You stick to just one book, study it properly for you to understand what is going on and what is not, right? So similarly, in case of resources also, you need to limit them into 1 or 2 sources which you can when required. Next slide, please. Now, as we have selected our own study material or the sources from which we take our reference, now you need to understand that we don't need facts and data. Facts and data, of course, we need it in order to substantiate our answers, but that is not the scene. Just telling them that this many people have been affected by COVID, these are the number of people who died, that does not say so what. You need to understand the issues. For example, recently, let me give you an example that RBI has given some kind a loan has made kind of mandate 50,000 crore. They have assigned a certain amount of money for the hospital so that they can set up an oxygen plant. It's not just a fact. You need to understand why they have put up this kind of situation, why they have put they are implementing this kind of rule, why only oxygen, they can curb the problem of oxygen availability. So similarly, when we go into the news, you need to understand that it is not just the news or the facts. You need to understand the basic Next slide, please. Now, I would suggest you write it down, even though I send you you will be sent these data. However, it would be very good if you keep these 5 points in mind. Okay, whenever you go through a piece of news, you need to understand the news. What is the matter? Is it very important? Why has it happened? Why is it so much worthy that it is in the front page, or why is it so important that it has been given this big an area? Finally, second is background knowledge, reports, facts, and data. So yes, it is important, but as and when you read the newspaper over and over again, these reports and facts and data will be there in the back of your head. For example, if there is if somewhere it is written that 521 crore has been allotted to this particular state or that state, you don't have to remember it's 500. While giving an interview or while writing down an essay, you can say just it's approximately 500 crore plus or minus a few crores. So you need to remember the reports, facts, and data as and when to memorize everything that has been printed there. Okay. Third is current status. Okay, so what has happened till now? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it ugly? You need to understand. You need to keep that in mind. So now understand that news or current affairs is very dynamic. It's on changing every day from time to time. Something has happened today, tomorrow you won't know what happened, and the policy changes. So it is something that you need to stay updated that what is going. It is very variable. Okay. So as and when you try to memorize the facts and data, try to remember, you just keep on updating that yes, earlier it XY amount, today is AB amount. Try remembering that, keep that in mind. Fourth is pros and cons. Now, pros and cons is Anirban has said that whenever they ask you about something very sensitive, about some kind of political issue or some kind of very contentious issue, sides. You don't always have to take sides. Okay, you just mention them pros and cons. Let them evaluate it objectively. Yes, if the interviewer prods you that which side you are not, if they keep on pushing, then maybe you will say that this is the reason. That's why I'm going with this. However, if the situation changes, I'm updating my opinion. I'm open to update my opinion, and I might change it later if the situation favors this or that. Okay, and finally, opinions and suggestions. Whenever there is a news article, you need to form your own method, you need to form your own understanding, what you have understood from it, what you should do. Okay, so whenever in an API, in any VAT or verbal based assessment, whenever they ask you about an issue, always try to end it while giving a suggestion or an opinion that what you think about it. Okay, so this is very important, and I would suggest that you write down, and the next time whenever you go through any newspaper article, or try to keep on sending you some relevant articles from the editorials or source or anything as such, and try to read it according to steps. Okay, next part. uh, I might have said verbal assessment. It's not verbal assessment, it's video based assessment. Okay, please don't get confused about it. It's video based assessment. Now, fourth is make notes. Now, the thing is, you don't have to write down each and every topic. The idea about making notes is create a mental map. You don't have to write or anything as such. As you can see here, that you will in the side box, you see you keep a main point. Then from the main point, you divide it into two parts, pros and cons. For four parts, you write down 2 or 3 pointers as this has happened. From this, so it is something for quick revision, so that once you are done with it, you don't have to go through the entire art. Your simple note, one page a note over any one topic is just more than enough for you to revise it. You will simply remember what has happened and what hasn't. Okay. Now, when you this is something, one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of aspirants do is they make date wise note, like this has happened on Monday, then Tuesday another set of things have happened. Don't do that. It is find date wise current affairs anywhere and everywhere. However, if you make it a topic wise note, so at that time what happens, for every topic you will have a chronology. For example, put aside a topic for COVID-19. There is then, whenever in any kind of particular news, whenever you go through any source, you will find different topics. For example, currently one of the biggest topic, population. Next is COVID-19. Fourth is mucormycosis. Then is the Palestinian area. Then the Palestine issue. So these are the four major topics which is currently trending. What you can do is divide four parts, and every time you see something on the news about regarding these four issues, just write it down alongside these topics, so that when before you revise, you just see the topic and you, okay, so this happened. You get a chronology of event pertaining to that. It is called categorization, and categorizing anything is going to long run to retain it in your memory. Okay, next slide. um the next one, yes. Now, since the time is pretty less for you, like how long do we have before the PI? I think 2 or 3, right? Is that when you study, when you go through the Michelle, I would suggest. Okay, good, thank you. So the next thing is that you need to allocate a certain amount of time while reading newspaper. Okay, so many times it's to spend 3 or 4 hours to write it down, to write, make notes. Okay, so many times what you can do is go through these websites. Yes, it is very important to go through to study the newspaper and analyze it and read it. You don't have to write down notes from the newspaper. Okay, you need to understand the topic, make your own do your own research on the internet if you don't understand any particular subject. Okay, for Hindu and Indian Express, I would suggest that you read the editorial part. Okay, you need to go through it. So what happens is that as soon as you read the editorial, you will get an idea, a broad idea of what is happening socially. These editors or the writers, they publish their own opinion. You get to know different kinds of points of view from various aspects, from different angles. So editorials is a, even if you can't read all the editorials, read 1 or 2 articles from there that is relevant, that you can understand, and just keep it in the mind. Do it as a reading comprehension or something you will study. Okay, and while writing down notes, it would be good if you can just make a YouTube search on the explaining videos, the Hindu analysis. So suppose you don't understand any topic, there's out there in the YouTube or in any other website where people post the underlying theory or the what has happened till now or the brief history about it, situation, so that you can understand and you can take down notes for that. Now remember that keep your notes as short as possible, like around 240, 300 words. Don't write down everything. Write down the keywords. Also, yes, one of the most important thing that you should remember while making the notes is that you should underline or note keywords that is happening. For example, um, economic activities, or what do you say, the budget or the budgetarial committee, keywords pertaining to different kinds of topics, which you should keep in mind, and it brings you brownie points when you use these words while writing down your essays or while giving the personal interview. Okay, try keeping a flowchart. Try to make a flowchart or mind map or different kinds of um, arrows, use arrows, pictures, and different and various other methods, so that it helps you to remember or it helps you to understand in just a small amount of time. Okay, next slide. One of the most important things Not try to mug up. Okay, don't mug up. Current affairs is very dynamic, very dynamic. It keeps on changing each and every day. It's an ocean. To retain everything. Okay, don't try to mug up. Try to understand the issues. Keep a vague idea of the chronology that is happening. Keep an idea of numbers. You don't have to quote the same thing that has been mentioned in the newspaper or in the articles or on those magazines. You don't have to. Sorry. You don't have to do anything like that. Keep an idea, understand the issues. That's what the interviewer wants to know, whether you understand the issues or not. They are not going to ask you facts that how many people died in this state and who is happened. They are not going to ask you. Then yes, maybe at times they will ask that who is the health minister, or who takes decision regarding any particular office or anything else. Mug everything. Okay, next slide. Is the GIF visible? Yes. Yes, they might ask you about the state, but they won't ask you all the nitty-gritties. Okay, they are going to ask you things like how not the kind of things like how many people, what are the policies. They will ask you some general questions like who is the governor, or who is the currently who is your DM, or what is the capital, who is the ruling party. They will ask some certain things which are present everywhere. They are not going to ask you that much detailed questions or anything as such. So yes, you need to understand things about your state. For example, the places of national importance, of historical importance, or tourist places, or anything as such, which is something called the static or general knowledge. Okay. Next slide, please. Finally, it is we have to get powers of Jadoo for this. Yes, yes, yes. You need Jadoo. And finally is revise. Now the thing is current affairs, there is a lot of information about it. Okay. And they are going to ask you very few questions, not questions, but a reasonable amount of questions. So you don't have to spend inordinate amount of time memorizing facts. However, whichever small amount or whichever amount of knowledge of whatever notes you have taken, good that if you do a weekly review or revise it every week. Weekly revision is very important so that you don't forget the things that you have already read. Otherwise, then there's no point in studying. All the work you have been doing for the past 1 week every day for 1 hour, it will just go in vain. But there's no point in doing this. Can't remember the points, or if you can't understand the issue, if you don't remember. That's why I'm asking you to write down short notes. And when you are done with the notes, every week when you revise, go through the notes, try to remember. I think you will remember almost 70 to 80% of the data. And in case you feel like you don't remember any important point, you can just simply go back to the reference, or go ahead and make perfectly fine. Okay. This is going to be just an interview. They are not going to ask you. This is not UPSC or banking examination that they will ask you details about. And if you don't know, there's nothing as such. If you understand the issues, and if you are able to showcase to your interviewer that yes, I can understand, I do understand it, and here these are the facts, more than enough for you. Okay. Next slide. So ultimately, there are a lot of things. The most and the one first and the most important thing that you need to remember is stick to it. Okay. In the first week, like you don't understand anything, you don't retain anything. That's not the case. Okay. You will remember everything. You just have to be very persistent. You don't have to spend 3 or 4 hours studying current affairs. You just have to half an hour to 1 hour at max. Okay, that's more than enough. You need to inculcate a habit, and you see after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you will just start going through through all the current affairs just the way you go through Instagram or Facebook. It is going to be, it's that addictive. And once you start understanding the questions, like when you go through the newspaper, there are a number of issues that are completely recurring, that are repeating over and over again. So those are the topics which carry a huge amount of weightage. Focus on them, understand them, and steadily, earlier maybe you might have taken 1 hour to read a newspaper, and as and when time progresses, as and when you study it regularly, this hour comes down to 30 minutes. You just go through the newspaper and you will just understand. One of the most biggest advantages, it not only helps in developing your current affairs, it with your English vocabulary, your English grammar, the way you can write. Okay, that is one of the biggest advantages. For now, to make notes, you can refer to the online materials, the Hindu analysis, or you can go through a lots of YouTube videos that explain different concepts. But in the end, you should also paper 1 or 2 articles so that you stay ahead or stay abreast of what is going on in and around, and you understand the topics and you get an idea of which topics are actually okay. Just keep hustling. I think that will be all from my side. Is there any question? Did you guys understand? Has it answered how you for current affairs? Guys, do you feel a little bit at, or do you think that you won't be lost? Just go through it. The method that I have said. Yes, Amlan says yes. Siddharth says Gyanoday. Okay. You guys have any question regarding anything or any other topic, or do you have any doubts? Um, okay, I think I am done here. Over to you, Anirban.
Okay, guys. So, guys, so the main thing out. No, it's okay. 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 Yeah. So, guys, the main thing out here is that how to uh, be updated with current affairs is that whenever you speak to your friends or whenever you speak to your family, right? So always try talking about the recent happenings around you, whatever the situation is. So that is how you will kind of that's how you kind of let current affairs creep into your life. Okay, so yeah, so you have to let current affairs actually come to your life. It's not that it's not something like they will come to you naturally. So you have to make places for it to come to your life and also make your life better. Yeah. So do you guys have you guys seen the video that I sent, the last video?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just play it once more. I like this video very much, it has got so many learnings. Mm.
Travis motherfucking Scott, the greatest live performer on this
All right, guys. Do you know who is this person, guys? Travis Scott. Yeah, cool. So what does he do? Rapper. Yeah. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, yeah. All right. So tell me, what do you think is communication has to do with it? Yeah, Harsh says that बस ये confidence चाहिए. हाँ, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. People who have said, who have identified this person, can you guys just unmute and say like why did I show this video? He raps about harsh truth. Okay, all right, Amlan. Guys, some of you some of you can unmute and actually speak. Akansha, Momita, Amlan, Anant.
Because of his confidence.
Yeah, and so with this much energetic on the day. Yes. Good energy. And something more.
He
Amlan was
considered his speech to be a normal jamming session and just
sorry. Can you
he
go
just
come again?
considered the speech to be a normal jamming session.
Okay. Amlan, you would you like to have a try?
Scott is a person, yeah, I guess Travis Scott is a person who lives his own self and he is not afraid of anything and he does not discriminate himself also. Like he is in front of these Americans and then he's rapping the truth.
Felt dominating. Yes. And Siddharth says that no worries, anxiety. Why do you say anxiety, Siddharth? Siddharth, are you here? Okay. All right. Say yeah. Um, Stage presence was immaculate. Yeah, cool. So see, guys. So Travis Scott is known as the best live performer currently. Okay. So and so what he did was, I'll just tell you a little about it. So whatever he writes, the kind of songs he writes, and also the kind of lyrics he uses. Okay, so it relates to the general public and it appeals to them. So as you have seen in the video that people have been jumping crazy to his music. Okay, and also that has been exaggerated with the help of lights and also the smoke machines and fire and all. So guys, what I want to focus here is the loudness of communication. Okay, so basically what we see here is that all the performers that exist, okay, may be it the singers or the rappers and or the actors. So what they have done from a very early childhood in their life is that they have been trying to be loud. They are trying to be loud. Okay, wherever they have gone, they have tried their best to be loud in their communication. So loudness of communication is very important for you guys here because in a personal interview or in a written ability test or in a video based assessment, you have to make yourself hear out. Okay, as I always as I have been focusing in this whole presentation and in this class, that you have to stand out. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं होता कि 10 rappers बन जाते हैं एक दिन में. Okay, ऐसा एक ही rapper बनता है. Travis Scott is one, and also one in a million or maybe billion, है ना? So this is a very great example that how people actually relate to uh, a person when he seems to be dominating, as in dominating in terms of speech, in terms of actions. Okay, so in an interview what you got to do is kind of communicate your points really well, frame it really well, structure it really well. Like we have like all the things we have covered in this in this whole presentation, right? So loudness of communication is very important out here. So always keep this in mind, and that's why I have been Abhinandan, I have been trying to tell everyone that you guys need to be verbal. Okay, तुम्हें verbal होना है. Like chat तो हो जाता है, chat तो we have been chatting with people since we were kids, class 5 6 years, class 5 6. Okay, तो तब से हम chat ही कर रहे हैं. Chat करते करते क्या हो रहा है कि this generation is going dumb. So dumb नहीं बनना है. We have to be verbal about whatever we think, how we portray ourselves, how we structure our answers, and also uh, how we uh, how we frame it to so that the listeners and also the readers can understand it. Okay, so all the structures that I have mentioned is focused towards um, relating your being writing the answers in such a way that it is relatable to the readers and also your listeners. So focus on this, and this is very important, loudness of communication. So always keep this in mind, that whatever you are speaking about should be very verbal and very loud. Okay, loud in terms of when I say loud, I am not talking about being uh, believing in your thoughts only, or maybe telling something very radical. ऐसा नहीं. When I talk about loudness of communication, I mean that you should be very clear with your thought process and also your structure. So remember these two things, that structure, uh, structure and how you frame it. Okay. So yeah, so this is very important out here. So pay attention to this. So now preparing for the big day. We have around 9 to we'll extend this class more around 9-10 minutes. So yeah, so we'll go with some interview questions, and we'll try to have some volunteers here, one or two, and those who will be volunteering, we salute them, and because you guys are going to be really verbal about your answers, and also you guys will rock it on the big day. So yeah, let's get started. Any volunteers? We'll be doing a we'll be asking 2 questions, and you guys have to answer it. Okay, so that others can observe. Yeah, Amlan says me, Momita says me. Okay, all right. So who would like to go first, Amlan or Momita? Decide. Amlan first or Momita first? Okay.
I
Amlan.
don't have any.
No. So we don't promote any discrimination out here. So no, it's not a simple logic. Amlan will be going first then. Okay, chalo. So Abhinanda, do you have?
I was not discriminating.
No. It's just a common belief that people have, but yeah, we won't do it. You're on mute, Abhinanda. You're on mute.
Okay, you need to remember one thing. Not Amlan and that in IIM they don't discriminate between girls and boys. Don't think that ladies first or anything. Whenever you go there, na, they don't they don't give advantage to girls because anything. If you have to do a work, it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. You'll have to do it. If the deadline for boys is early morning at 4 a.m., then similarly for girls also it is early morning. Get any kind of leeway. Okay. So don't think
put
that
it like
ladies
that,
first is
nothing
going to
else.
work there.
No.
I know that it's perfectly fine. That okay, there is no such thing as ladies. There is no kind of gender bias.
Yeah, Amlan was trying to have some fun. see the lights he has put on. Guys, see his lights. Really good lights. Huh?
Sorry.
No, good. It's fine. It's all right.
Lights
It's perfectly
actually
fine. It's
remind
cool,
us of
dude. It reminds us of campus, dude. Come on. No.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
we would like to have those lights. Yeah. Cool.
We used to have that kind of lights in our room.
Every
Yes.
evening it's on in my room.
Sets the mood exactly, Akansha. Right. Very right.
Yes,
Very
yes.
rightly said. So okay. So Amlan, so we'll be asking you one question or two questions. So and others can observe how he says it. Okay. More of a club. Yeah, club. Exactly. So yeah, party. Cool. Chalo. So back to work, Amlan. So the question is, listen to it carefully. Okay. So how do you think that whatever you have studied till now helps you to connect your dreams at IIM through the IPM program? Am I clear with the question, Amlan?
Yeah, can you repeat it once again?
Yeah. So what I said is that whatever you have studied till now in your high school and all, and whatever you have learned in your life till now, how does everything connect to your IIM life at any of the IPM life at any of the IIMs, and also how do you feel that they will help you there? Okay. You can have
Okay,
some
so
time. You can have some time. You can
yeah,
take
okay.
30 seconds time. Okay. Yeah.
So since I am a commerce student, so it will be really nice to for me to continue with the management part because the accounts thing and the business things are there in my syllabus already, and along with that the things which are not there in my syllabus like psychology, maths and all those, I will be really happy to learn those things in the IPM course.
That's it.
By tell more. Sorry.
So Amlan, see, so here you have to mention some examples also, like as in what would you like to pursue after your IPM program also, like where do you want to go? Okay, so yeah, so you have to say that also. Cool. Avinanda, would you like to give a question to Momita?
Momita, what is your background?
Science.
Background as in science, commerce,
Science.
science. Okay. Mm, tell me that. Tell me a situation in which you have been in a very difficult position, take a very difficult decision regarding a conflict. Okay, there has been a problem with your friend or your teammate. So tell me about the situation, where and when that happened. How did you handle it? And now thinking about it, was it the right thing you did, or you could have done it? And things could have gone some other way.
Situation as in about what?
Tell me, so like been studying in school, and it has been just the past 2 years in which you were you did everything virtually. So prior to that, you have been working in some kind of group task or assignment or something as such. Have you worked in somewhere like that, like
I
school
don't like.
experiment or any? Hello. Yeah, I'm talking about the experiment because since you are a science student, you went to lab or computer lab, and there were numerous experiments. Have you been in any kind of conflict with your friends or anything as such? Am I audible or my network is not working?
You're audible now. I can hear you.
Okay, then let me ask you some other question. I think that this question does not apply to this kind of to you. Um,
Just a minute. Momita, you haven't been in any
Let me
group
give you
assignment.
another question.
Momita, you haven't been in any group assignment or group thingy in school.
No, I had.
So you haven't faced a conflict situation.
So I was asking that where your conflict as in it can be anything in your personal life as well. However, the thing is, I want to know how you handle conflict. And what was the situation? It's entirely up to you. Tell me about the situation, how you handle it, and thinking about it right now. Was it the right thing to do, or you could you have?
I couldn't relate to any situation now.
Okay, fine. Let me ask you some other question. Um, Tell me, who is the person you follow the most, or you're the ideal person or personality? Tell me three good things and three weaknesses, three bad things about that person. Positive side and negative side about the ideal person.
Sorry, my laptop got discharged.
Huh?
My laptop got discharged.
Is my question clear, or is it very confusing? I don't understand.
I don't know. No, your question is clear to me, but I am not able to answer it. Couldn't relate.
You're not able to answer. You don't have any ideal person. You don't look up to someone,
I don't
anyone
have any
like
ideal person. Yeah, I don't have any ideal person.
or Swami Vivekananda or anybody.
No.
Okay. I think that you should think about it because this kind of question will be asked. Okay, fine. You. Um, where do you see 5 years down the lane or 10 years later?
There are certain things that I'm not clear about my life now, like in this stage. So I want to be clearer about what about the topics, about the uh how should I say? I don't know. I'm not able to answer. Can I skip it?
Okay, fine. Okay, so I asked you three questions. You need to understand that these are some kinds of questions which will be asked you in the personal interview. Now, right now, when I said asked the question that where do you see yourself 5 years or 10 years down, you need to think about it and be very clear where you see yourself. Okay, this is not the kind of time where you will say that I am confused. This creates a very bad impression, and you need to, for example, when you see yourself 5 years down, now tell me that IPM, how long is the course? It's a 5 year course, right? So you can simply say that when 5 years down the lane, I see myself corporate or something in those lines, or if 5 years down the line, I see myself preparing for this kind of job or something as such, assuming that this is the point of time where I'm done with my interview, done with my job, yeah, preparing myself to enter into the corporate world. 5 year down the line, 10 year down the line. Now think in the lines that what you want to be after 10 years when you join the corporate, or you don't want to join corporate, if you want to do higher studies, where you see yourself. This is something you need to understand. Similarly, when you go for the person you look up to or the ideal person, this is something that you should have, or you need to think about someone whom you look up to. It can be anybody, your father, your mother, or some personality, or anybody. You can, for example, you can talk about lots of people have given the example of Shah Rukh Khan in their company interview, and they have actually defended it, saying that he is a person who is an inspiration, who came to Mumbai in very complete broke person, and from there he worked hard for them in his movies and went up the ladder. There are lots of people with whom you can take inspiration. And suppose you don't have one such kind of And you can talk about through 2 or 3 people who from whom you derive your inspiration to work harder. So you need to think about it, okay? So if you don't think about the answers now, later on you will face a lot of problem during the interview. Okay, Momita?
Yeah.
Um,
That's right.
over to you, Anirban.
Okay. Amlan or someone else? Would anyone else like to have a hit at it?
Would you like to volunteer?
This will be a easy question. Not no,
Can I take Harshit Mehta as an inspiration?
ma'am. Kind of.
Look, you can take anybody as an answer. Like if even if it's Harshad Mehta, you can take an example and you can tell about the positive attribute. As you can defend your stance, as long as you can tell that yes, these are the qualities I look forward. These are the qualities that has inspired me to develop these kinds of so and so skills. Can put forward. And similarly, when even if the interviewer doesn't say that, tell me about 2 3 positive or 3 negative things, it doesn't depend on it. Even mention the negative points as well. This shows that you are very objective and you absorb only the positive side from them. Many times the question that I ask that who is the ideal person, 3 positive or 3 negative attributes, most of the times the interviewers don't even ask these kinds of questions. It is something you need to keep in the back of the mind. You don't just give the answer and tell and just go shit. You need to defend your answer. Akanksha says, am I going to be judged based upon the person I look up to? As long as you can defend it, it's simple as that. As long as these are the qualities. Now, don't go ahead and mention Hitler or Saddam Hussein, even though they have a lot of good qualities, but you should never say something that controversial, okay?
Yes, Anant.
Yeah, like his wisdom, but not his greed, then fine. Then
Anant has a question here. Anant. So yeah. Anand's question, I'll answer. So Anant, it's absolutely fine uh, to keep an idol who you know personally or someone who is from your family or a senior, because everything. See, you can have any ideal in your life that you would like to follow. Okay, uh, it doesn't really have to be some specific person or anyone that you know personally or something like that. It can be anyone and everyone. Okay, so whosoever you name, so just remember that you have to back it up with proper reasoning. So what do I mean by reasoning here is that in maybe when they ask you what do you want to be 5 years from now, so that answer kind of can be connected to this one, because it shows where you want to be. Okay, why do you want this course to happen in your life? Why do you want to take up this course? Why should IPM happen to you? Okay, so if you find that whosoever you are following uh, has something relevant to this course, to IPM, and you feel personally that through the IPM course you can reach there, so that perfectly fits. Okay, you have to fit everything in the answer. uh, the most common question, why IPM? Yeah, the most common question, why IPM? Yeah, exactly, good said that. So why IPM? So that's that answer should be connected. That answer should be the connecting point between you and the person you follow. So yeah, so I think that answers your question, Anand.
um, also another thing that whenever a question is asked to you, always keep in mind that there is a subtext that why IPM, how it connects you to IPM. So always keep this in back of the mind whenever you answer any question. So suppose when I ask you who is the ideal person, think that the qualities and how it is going to get me into IPM. How IPM, why IPM? Try to think in that line. Keep it as a basic thing in the back of the head. It doesn't have to be that. You can simply imply that these are the qualities that will help me and so on and so forth. Okay.
So I will take a last question here. So Amlan, Are you can you volunteer? Okay, so I'll give you a, so guys, yeah, see this question, listen to this question carefully, everyone, because this is how puzzles are asked in a IPM interview. Okay, Samlan, just tell me this thing. So I'll give you a situation. Okay, a situation. ठीक है? So in a situation क्या है कि there are 5 people. Okay. Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah.
So yeah, so there are 5 people, okay, who know the who. So there's basically 2 railway tracks. Okay, there are 2 railway tracks, and on one railway track, people are sleeping. Like as in 5 people are sleeping, and they know that the railway track is closed, so that so no train would come that way. So they are sleeping on the railway track. Okay, and on another railway track, there are 10 people who are walking, and they don't really know if the railway track is closed or the railway track is live. Okay, they are basically ignorant. They don't want to know. They are walking on that railway track, 10 people, and on the other railway track, these people know that the railway track is not live, like it's closed. It's a closed railway track. So these 5 people are sleeping. Okay, now you are the station master or someone who controls the trains. So you have to run a train on one of these tracks. Okay, so in the first case, the 5 people know that the train line is not live, it's closed. So they are sleeping on the train line. And on the second railway track, there are 10 people walking on the railway track, and they are ignorant basically about the situation. Like they don't know if the railway track is live or not. Okay. So where would you run the train? And if you run the train, it is sure that the people whosoever is present will be dying. Okay. You can think about it.
So the tracks people may die, right?
Yeah, both the tracks people might die. I got it.
Yeah, one question. Uh, in both the tracks, people may die or people will die.
So the track you run the train on, right? So that track, the people will die.
Oh, confirm they will die.
Confirm.
Okay, then I will be going for the track on which 5 people are sleeping.
Why would you go for the
Because
5?
if it would have been that people may die, so I would have gone for the track having 10 people who are just walking, because if the train comes, they will be alert on the sound. For that sound, they will be alert. But that it's sure they will be dying, so 5 people, because 10 people lives are more than 5 people lives.
But so isn't it that 5 people who know the law, who know that the tracks are closed, doesn't that make them well off that they are on the right side of the law, and they are informed, they have taken an informed decision, and they have uh, slept on that line because that track is not live, that track is closed. So doesn't that make the keep you at fault that people who are abiding by the law are actually, or law, or the decision, or the situation that is currently there, that the train, that the
So
line is
see,
not live?
the line may not be live, okay, but you can capture it and use it on your own way.
No, they haven't captured it. They are just okay.
Maybe that.
Maybe these 5 people are walking. They're not sleeping. They're walking on the track because they know that it's not live. It's closed track.
Okay. Then also 5 people, because the sound of the engine is so loud that the people will be alert.
No, the people will die no matter what.
There are also 5 people, because 10 people lives are much more important than 5 people lives.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so there's a
One fact is my dad was a station master and you asked me that only. But he did not face like this any situation.
yeah. So the by the law of utility, it says that yeah, we have to go with 5 people. So that's something very a tough situation that you guys need to have a call on, that you guys need to figure out. So these are kind of puzzles that will be asked to test your ethics, then how you how credible answers you give. Yeah, you are correct, but you have to justify it. Okay, so here the correct answer doesn't mean anything. The correct answer, so guys, in an interview you will come across a lot of situations where the correct answer doesn't really hold any weight, because they want to find your approach and also what you think about it. Okay, so because they want to know you as a person, not as someone who, as a computer. A computer also gives correct answers. Okay, so they want to find out how do you actually think about the answer. Okay, or how you are as a person. What if someone says that they would want the 10 people who were ignorant to die? They would want yeah, that's also they'll be questioned upon why they think so, because so then they'll be saying like uh, uh, these 5 people are very informed, and so they were following the correct path. So yeah, so that's how they will justify it. uh, there is also a law that says that the innocent should not be punished. Yeah. So Piyush, while we say mention laws here, so I don't mean the penal codes or the Indian law here. It's a different thing altogether. It's not it's not about the Indian laws here. So yeah, I think that answers your question. But according to tax are not meant to be slept. Yeah, surely, Harsh. Right. You're right. But yeah, but you get it right. The kind of answers they are looking for.
That's what he was telling me. The tracks are not meant to be slept.
Yeah, but that is not the kind of answer they are looking for. So that's what we are training you for. कि क्या बोलना है and क्या बोलना नहीं है. Because if you straight up, because they are looking for a, so see, while interviewers ask you questions, they are not always searching for a correct answer or a wrong answer. Okay, we are also trying to figure out your approach. So as we already mentioned in the mock interviews. Okay, like when we were asking the puzzles. So yeah, so that's how it is, that they want to find out about the thought process that you guys are having, because they also want to know your personality apart from the technical knowledge that you guys have. Okay, so yeah, how to stay chill during the interview, what if we get anxious? Yeah, good question. Go to an interview like you have nothing to lose. Okay, go to an interview like you own the interview, like you have to crack it, and you know that you will be able to crack it. That is the only way out. Okay, so just be in the moment. That's why I started the class with this thing, uh, chronos and kairos, that you need to value the opportune time that they give you in an interview. So you have to, so there's not no hack to being chill and all. There are a lot of videos on YouTube which say that that this is how you can remain chill, this is how you can calm yourself down. But the real answer is getting nervous in an interview is all right, because that's how your interviewers also think that that's how your interviewers also think that you are, you value this interview, you are serious about this interview. Okay, it's absolutely normal to be anxious, and also absolutely normal to fumble a bit. Okay, so it's not a bad thing. Just be go to an interview like you have nothing to lose. Just stay in the moment. uh, होगा तो होगा, या फिर देखा जाएगा कोई, but give your best. Okay, and the best way always is to as I have focused is this thing, the that you have to practice every day in front of the mirror, so that you don't fumble while telling the answers. And I also sent you a video, the first video that I sent yesterday. So that also talks about a lot of filler words that you have to uh, inculcate in your speech, because we all fumble, right? We all fumble, and we need to know where to give gaps. In my mind, songs are always going on. Is it fine or the thing to get tensed about? In a PI, I don't think there will be songs going on in your head, dude. It's very difficult to get to keep running songs in your head while in a personal interview. You'll be scared, to be honest. You'll be very nervous. I don't think songs would come to your head that time. But yeah, if that calms you down in an interview, that's perfectly fine. Or before an interview, if you are thinking about songs, that's perfectly fine. If that calms you down. Okay. So guys, yeah, any other questions? And remember to practice. We'll be having mock interviews this week also, the coming week. Any questions, guys? Akansha Kona says what? What Akansha?
Oh no.
We have mock PI coming. Yeah.
We
So
have
guys,
more PI the
mock PI,
coming week.
mock PI would help you to actually prepare for the ultimate day. So we are planning actually for 2 mock interviews this week. And when will we have it? Yeah, Vishal, we have to take your other interview also. Yeah, we'll be taking our one interview tomorrow, Vishal. For Vishal it is, and for others in the coming week. Coming week we'll have 2 interviews. Please spare us. If we spare you now, Akansha, you'll be spared for your whole life. Is that? Would you like to have that trade-off? If it's okay with you, then fine. Like we'll spare you. Not two. See,
The thing is that if you don't want, nothing else. But the thing is, it's so that you stay the exactly a few minutes back. I think you only asked that how to rid of the jitters or the being nervous, how to stay calm and chill during the interview. So it's through these mock interviews only you will get over that chills and fear. Our mock interviews will get to know which questions you can focus on more. So it's for your benefit only.
and guys, it's all about practice, right? So the more you practice, the more you are fluent with your answers. So it's like we'll be since we'll be asking you, we'll be trying to give a total interview feel, the real interview feel. So we would also request you to treat it as a real interview, as in it is a mock interview, but the setting, just keep it in your mind that it should be a real interview kind of setting, so that you guys can actually get over your fear. Do we have G? No GDs. GD अभी कोई नहीं लेता. GD नहीं लेते. GD is not a thing anymore. In the industry, GD is not a thing anymore.
Tanima, asked, are we going to have CA? We
Yeah,
won't be asking you that much in CA, just short questions
so
for current affairs. We won't be asking you depth or in detail.
okay. चलो फिर और कोई question है? As far as I know, there won't be VAT this year. Is that right? So Piyush, where do you know this from? Tell us also. Piyush, you can unmute and say.
We just heard from some YouTube channels, and they on that it's on that website. There is no mention of that. They
Yeah.
didn't mention that.
So Piyush, see, IIM-Indore is taking something called as the personal assessment. So we also don't know what personal assessment is. There are some YouTube videos. We know that YouTube videos. We don't really prefer YouTube videos because those are just speculations. Those are just speculations.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, but in the website also they have not mentioned about VAT. Only they mentioned about test, and if you qualify the 80, then you will go for the interview. I don't know what is this
Which website? Which website?
in those website.
I'm
In
in those
that they
website.
didn't.
I'm in those website. It's
Yeah.
written personal assessment. If I'm not wrong, it's written
Yeah.
personal assessment. Yeah. So what do you mean by personal assessment? Can you tell me, Siddharth?
Personal assessment.
Yeah.
I guess
So,
it's the interview.
so there's no guessing. We don't do guesswork here. Okay. So we prepare you guys for real. So while it's written personal assessment, so we also don't know what personal assessment is. So we also don't believe in speculations. So you guys have to be ready for everything, because see, it's not something that is valuable to us. It's something that is valuable to you guys. It's about your career. So पर्सनल असेसमेंट में क्या होता है, लास्ट टाइम दे टुक वीडियो बेस्ड असेसमेंट, and we are also not sure that what they will be taking this year. So we want you guys to prepare for everything, because there should be no stone left unturned, because if we do it, so अगर अवैट आ गया तो फिर क्या करोगे बताओ, फिर you'll be in enough trouble, right? So we have to be prepared for everything. If I need to study the whole syllabus of
Also,
class.
please understand. Also, you need to understand that in personal assessment, there are chances in which the interviewers might put some extempo question, just a random question, something that they might have asked in what, but if suppose they remove what, then what will they do? They might give you a certain random topic and would ask you to speak for 1 minute straight. So things like this may happen as well. So you need to stay prepared, and if you prepare for that, then that's an added advantage to you. The more you learn, the better you will be able to perform in the interview.
So guys, all the YouTube videos you see, right? So I'll just show you something that these sources these answers come from. 1 minute is easy. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Siddharth. So guys, I want everyone to see this. Okay, I'm just concentrate on my screen. I'll be showing you something very groundbreaking today. Very very bad thing that has happened recently. So because see, this is why we don't trust people, and this is how we see our how we see YouTube videos as, because they are just speculations. So we'll do something